So internal auditors and internal audit heads in small organizations, listen to the experts. Now, one of the things that you mentioned to be one important quality of an internal auditor, or in your case, a CAE, is foresight. Now, how do you envision the future of the internal audit function in terms of roles, relevance, and capability requirements?
For me, it's really an evolving transformation, in the sense that everything is dynamic. As we evolve, there are different risks that are happening, there are emerging trends. Risk everywhere are being recreated in any global scale. So I think it is also imperative that internal auditors in the CAE should be able to really go beyond to what they know today. We need to have that lifelong learning, if I may say. We need to be very adept into what's going on in the country, in the world, global scale, and then think about how we can further innovate ourselves. So innovation doesn't only apply to technology, it also applies to human capital. So to address that concern, it is from the person itself, himself or herself. They need to do something about their future. So I can only innovate if the human capital is able to evolve. So that's why I always believe that it is a combination not only of the process or the system and technology, but human capital is the major driver. It is the bedrock or the foundation of everything. If without this human people that will be working on with the organization, all of this innovation is not very effective because they need someone to drive it. And that is the critical point that we need to do to be able to evolve. So to be adept, you need to be yourself, a stronger 2.0 of Melanie Oteyza. And that's what we call innovating human capital. Yeah.
Yeah. So have a better version of you in that case.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, so for IA, it's very important for us to be purpose led,
Mm-hmm.
dynamic, and responsive. So, currently, with the vast changing technology, different risk out there, emerging risk, like currently we're facing climate change. It's not even in the radar of IA in the past years, right? But currently, it's very important, and we with the evolving requirements on sustainability. So we shouldn't know only about how to audit financials or operations. It's now become broader because that's more important and relevant for the organization. Um, Serving the purpose and knowing what's your purpose, the purpose of your team, what's the purpose in your organization, that can really drive us and can motivate us to become responsive and dynamic IA. So of course, if we're like having all of this technology and you don't want to learn, you don't want to upskill and reskill, so what will happen to you? Let's not become a dinosaur, okay? So it's very important for us that we actually be two steps um, ahead of what's happening. Like for instance, in your company, maybe right now you don't have that Gen AI, but it's in the pipeline. If you will hearing in the strategic plan, oh, we're having RPA or machine learning, or we're having this blockchain in the future. So try to learn from it. Try to learn already about those things. Be steps ahead of from the company, because of course when it's there, you will have that idea how it will impact the company. What could be the risk? How can we audit this? I remember like 10 years ago, they're talking about cloud. And no one really is like minding, oh, no, we're not going to that phase like management saying. But right now, where we are, we're using cloud. And if you didn't upskill, do you know even how to audit cloud? Right? But currently, maybe all our systems and applications are there in the cloud. And if we don't know how to audit it, what are the risks in it? So, what value can we bring to the organization? So, it's important for us to know what the company is doing, what are the strategies, where are we, what are the long term plans. So, we can anticipate what could be the emerging risk for the company. So, apart from really just, oh no, you internal auditors, you're just auditing the past. What value can you bring? That's the usual challenge for all IAs, right? And we can do more of that. We can audit the past transactions, get learning from it that can benefit the future. And aside from that, really foresight, because we know the company is doing this in the next 3 years, 5 years, and this could be the risk that we're gonna facing. So we can share some recommendations with the company while we're not even there. How can we prepare well, right? So I think that's where we can really bring value to the organization.
So the challenge to our internal auditors out there is to prepare for the future. Okay, and how do we prepare for the future? Let's look at where we are right now and look at the changes that are happening around us. Because they say that the only permanent thing in this world is change. So we have to really anticipate those changes, and not only anticipating but also looking into the many vulnerabilities that it may create in the business model of the company, in the future state of the company. So it is very important that our auditors will continue to learn, relearn, or even unlearn sometimes those un, unuseful traits. So it is in recognizing the need to really update all the time. That's why I am not a computer literate person. I'm not tech savvy, but I always read a lot of information that is related there. So somehow, if I talk to even to our IT head, I can communicate in more or less informed manner. I know somehow what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. So the technology is really a big risk. The changes in it's very rapid, right? And we know that in the dark web, there's so many things out there that are being done,
Yeah.
right? That we need to be aware of, and we have to really be guarding our systems. So the way we will be able to do that is to continuously learn and learn, so that we will be able to anticipate what is there to happen. So again, we don't have all the knowledge, but we have to really um, learn a lot and
Yeah, don't stop
understand.
learning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't stop learning.
Yeah.
And I think one additional that I would want to point out is that auditors, don't be afraid. You
Mm-hmm.
need to embrace change and start challenging the status quo. Because if you don't do that, we will really be stuck where we are today. We need to challenge the business model, we need to challenge the way we're thinking, and we need to challenge the way we're operating because that's where we start to learn. And from that, I agree with what JR mentioned. Sometimes we need to unlearn.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think that's very, very important now for all auditors there. And don't be afraid. That's one thing. So long as you're able to really highlight the value and that there will be a definite benefit that will be given to the organization, you can be very, very confident that you can help them. Then you can do a lot of those activities in the organization. Yeah.
Oh
Can
my.
I add
Cool.
one
Of
more? Yeah,
course.
I just want also to throw this challenge to our internal auditors, especially those aspiring to be CAEs, to be active in IIA and other professional organizations. And by active, I mean you try to get a topic, teach that particular topic, because it is only in the personal experience that I learn more when I teach. So that way you will improve. You'll be able to improve your craft, and then later on you'll have more passion to do other topics, and that will have a ripple effect in your professional life. So I think that's something that so that you'll have more speakers,
Yes, of
more
course.
more
We need more
trainers
speakers.
in
And I
IIA.
think we can also
Yeah.
add in IIP this mentoring program.
Mhm.
There could be some CAE volunteers who would be able to, provide some time and support
Mhm.
for those that will be a new leader in the
Yes.
So even if
organization.
we're very busy, we'll
Yeah,
find
so
time
we'll
to,
try. Yeah,
to
I think that
prepare
that
new
can be done
CAEs,
also
diba?
in IIAP.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So at least we can, it's part of our advocacy, and we'll be able to share whatever we can share in terms of knowledge.
Yeah.
We might think about that. I think
Yes.
that's also one thing that we can do to help our emerging leaders,
Yeah.
in
And just to
IA.
personally share my experience on how really IIAP helped me with my role.
Mhm.
Because after doing external auditing, I readily like head the internal audit team.
Mhm.
So that's when I thought they're just like the same.
Mhm.
So IIA really helped me um, with the learning that I need to have. What are the principles that I need to understand? How I should do and manage an IA activity? How do I develop internal auditors? So I actually attended the CIA review series for me to have the basic knowledge what's internal auditing, because of
Yes.
course it discusses the standards. That's only my main purpose then eventually, oh, so that's the only time when I knew, oh, there's like a CIA certified internal auditor.
Auditor.
So it inspires me. Maybe I should get that because, of course, if I am to head this internal audit team, I should have like something to tell them. Yeah, you can like rely on me or count on me to be your head because of course I have this certification. So I am encouraging everyone to really have the courage to upskill and reskill, become a CIA. So do attend trainings, and I'm sure IIAP has lots of offerings that can really help you, especially for internal auditors. Like before, I would hire internal auditors, not really I doesn't have IA background. Of
Mhm.
course, maybe I had before microbiologists, chemists,
Yes.
engineers.
Mhm.
They said we don't have experience in IA,
Mhm.
and IIAP helped a lot because of course we have those relevant trainings that can help you on board how to do this, and for sure you will love it because yeah you will get to hear from speakers like JR the
Yes.
experiences of Mel, and it's really not just theoretical, it's application that can help you.
Those responses were very rich. Okay. You know what I learned from that is do not be afraid. For internal auditors, do not be afraid to learn. For internal audit managers or aspiring internal audit managers, do not be afraid to teach. And to the CAEs, do not be afraid to mentor because we're all
Yes.
called towards purposeful change.
Yeah.